Hey everybody, welcome to a legacy video that I'm very excited about. So, if you'll take a look at this deck here, it contains Urza, Karn, Oko, Mox Opal, and Emery. That's basically the engine of this deck, and I won a Modern Grand Prix with basically this deck. At GP Columbus in 2019, I won with a Simic Urza deck featuring Karn the Great Creator, and after that Grand Prix, they banned Mox Opal, Oko, and Mycosynth Lattice in Modern. So they banned 3 cards out of the deck I won the GP with, but all those cards are still legal in Legacy. So I'm excited to relive my glory days here with this spicy Legacy brew. It got 4th place in the most recent Legacy Challenge, and as soon as I saw it, I was in love, and we're going to try it out today. Let's go. Alright, so we're on the play for match number 1. I'm not going to keep this hand. We got to explode a little harder than that. Speaking of exploding. Alright. I'll keep this one. We don't need this redundant Emery. And I think I want to ship. So basically the choice here is ship the polluted delta and hope that we draw another land, or ship the Force of Will and hope we don't need protection. Shipping Borrower doesn't make sense because then we have Force but no blue card. Alright, I'm going to ship the Force and just keep my lands available to me. Alright, so the good news is we do have a turn 1 Emery. Alright, my opponent seems to be F6'd, just full F6'd over there. So let's see what they're up to. Hope they don't have a turn 1 Collector Roof. Tropical Island Aether Vial. What's happening? Not gonna lie, I'm a little worried. Alright, so if I go get myself I guess I'm kind of wrecked to Wasteland regardless, so I might as well just get the mana. I'm casting Baleful Strix instead of Simic Signet. Alright. So we likely have Urza next turn. Unless they do something crazy here. I mean, Wasteland would be a bummer, of course, but that's never not going to be true. And Emery lets you cast an artifact from your graveyard, and you can't cast lands. So if they destroy the Seat of the Synod, it's gone. I can't bring it back. Alright, we're going to find out what tribe they are here. This is humans? Like a different human build? Wizard. Oh my god. What is happening to me? Oh, we're in a full and true brew off here. We're against Wizard Tribal featuring Aether Vial. And I'm on Uro-za. Alright, basic land is D's plus. Time to summon the guy, the big man. And then I can play Simic Signet. Alright, here we are. I'm now set up, and let's try to start winning next turn. So it depends on what wizard is coming my way. This Reflector Mage, is that a wizard? I don't know. Grand Abolisher, uh-oh. Oh, am I just dead? Is this Cephalid Breakfast? Alright, I guess. Is the cephalid must be a wizard? Alright. Okay, so I could have bounced Aether Vial with my Brazen Borrower instead of playing Simic Signet if I had identified what we were up against better. Alright, yeah, so we are in fact dead to a wizard. Alright, I'll let them go ahead and combo off. So we can have it for the video and see what their win condition is. Though I'm sure it's Thassa's Oracle, because that's just the best thing you can do. Alright, so the way this deck works is they're going to mill a bunch of Narc Amoebas and their whole deck, and a Dread Return, and they're going to Dread Return Thassa's Oracle. Alright, so they have a Stoneforge Mystic package for the Shuko. That's pretty sweet. And they have Daze. Gotta watch out for that one. There's no Force of Will. So they have Discard Spells and Daze. It looks like they are a super aggro version of this. Like they're trying to make me dead quickly. Like with the Cavern, the Daze, the Cabal Therapy. Alright. I am deceased. Okay, so Tormod's Crypt's coming in. Abrupt Decay is coming in. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look up this Cephalid guy, see if Plague Engineer can stop this combo. Okay, confirm that Cephalid Illusionist is a 1/1. Not sure if I want Mystical Dispute. They showed me the Cavern and the Aether Vial, so I'm not super excited about that. Alright, so Simic Signet's probably a little derpy. I don't think we're going to have time to Uro them. Chalice, and if I turn one Chalice, that's going to be pretty good. But otherwise, pretty medium. I like having max Emeries. The Borrower Force of Will seems kind of medium, which is weird to say against combo deck. Or no, Force of Will is definitely better than Baleful Strix. Alright. So these cards are in my deck now. I'm still not super sold on Force of Will, because they showed me so many ways to punk a Force. Yeah, maybe it's fine. Or maybe one of them should be Mystical Dispute. I'm going to stick with what I got here. Okay, this one's capable. I think it's fair to say. Yeah, so we have Force of Will and two of the best cards in the matchup. Like if Karn shuts down Aether Vial and Shuko, and Tormod's Crypt stops their combo, and Grand Abolisher trumps Tormod's Crypt because Grand Abolisher stops abilities. But we do have a turn 3 Karn here with Force backup. And let's just get this Tormod's Crypt into play so it doesn't get discarded. God, our hand last game was so cool. It sucks we lost. We were doing it. Could add a turn 2 Karn. Well, I can have a turn 3 Karn and play around Daze, so I'm just gonna do that. All right, so they don't have a cavern or an aether vial yet, so things are looking okay for this Force of Will to actually have text. Oh, hello, Uro-za. Go create. Once upon a time in response, looking for what? Maybe a blue card to pitch to the Force of Wills they boarded in. Stoneforge Mystic. That goes well with my Karn. Alright, B-Storm. I'm not gonna fight over that. Like, I could force this Brainstorm and just hope that they have nothing, but I'd rather use it to protect my Karn. Because Karn shuts down so many of their avenues. Alright, they did board in Force of Wills. I'm gonna pitch Oko, because Uro-za is just a better card here. Alright, let's see what's left in the package here. I probably... So, they have Cabal Therapy in their deck, which is kind of scary. So maybe I want to just wish for nothing. Yeah, I don't want to give them any free Cabal Therapies. If I left a Tormod's Crypt in the board, I would have wished for it there to have the double protection, but I didn't. And I don't think it's right to do that. It's what I did. Alright, let's see if they brought in a Batterskull, if they boarded all the way into Stoneblade. Yep, alright, confirmed. Alright, that was a good draw. Just any artifact, any just material laying around on the board is really good when you have Uro-za. So the Karn resolved last turn, which makes me think that the Uro-za will resolve this turn. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I think I want... So I could Spyglass right now, just make sure I don't lose. And then I can Lattice them next turn. Alright, so I'm going to name Stoneforge Mystic. Or do I care about that? Maybe I just name Nomads and Core. So in case they brainstorm into the whole combo, I don't want to suddenly lose. I could have bobbled them before I played the Spyglass to be sure, but Brainstorm messes up all of that. Like, I actually just don't care about Batterskull. Because I'm going to have a bigger creature next turn. Like, when I get the Lattice, the Construct will be a 5/5. And they can't do anything anymore. Alright, so now I'm going to wish for a Lattice. And they're going to have one Brainstorm to rule them all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And moment of truth. One of us, well, they're playing to not die. Even if they answer this, I'm still like doing okay. Okay. That only matters if they also found a counterspell. Alright, so we win. So I can pop the bauble now because I have infinite artifacts and I just want to get cards at this point. Alright, they figured out they're dead. Alright, so I think I like that sideboard plan. Yeah, I'm just going to run it back. Alright, so this hand is medium. It's a turn 2 Oko with Force of Will backup, but I'm not sure if Oko does anything in this matchup. This hand's also in a lot of trouble to a daze. I'm going to mulligan. Alright, this hand's a lot more exciting. Turn 1 Plague Engineer. Or turn 1 Emery. Yeah, I probably want to Emery turn 1, because like their ability to kill you turn 2 is pretty low. And I'm going to bottom Oko, because Brazen Borrower is more castable here. Okay, so that's a little bit scary. Maybe I do have to turn 1 this Plague Engineer. Because this is how they turn to you. They cast the wizard. Yeah. Okay, so that makes sure we don't die on turn 2 at least. We checked the first box. It's not the play I wanted to make, but I think we were priced into it. This would be a really good game for them to just have like Stoneforge into Batterskull, because I'm not super ready for that, though Brazen Borrower does a lot of work in that situation. Okay. Yeah, if we just borrow the Germ token. Yeah, not a huge deal. All right, Force of Will is a nice insurance policy. So playing Seed of the Synod lets me play around days, where playing Blue to Delta doesn't. So I'm going to play around days because I can. It's nice that their deck doesn't really pressure the life total. Ooh, Chalices in the bin. And I'm not going to attack here, because if they Violent Nomads in Core, then if they have like 2 Nomads and an Illusionist in hand, I could lose. Like, they would, their 3 unknown cards would have to be exactly double Illusionist. Or I guess Shuko plus Nomad. Or, yeah, I like not attacking there. I convinced myself. So next turn I can Chalice on 1 and hold up Brazen Borrower. Merfolk. Oh no. What Merfolk is in this deck? Oh, is it the Oracle? I think the Oracle might even be a wizard. That's pretty funny. Oh, Opal is nice. Just take a little bit of pain out of the mana here. Alright, so Chalice on 1, Aether Vial's gone, Nomads and Core is gone. Or, well, they have this Aether Vial already, that one's pretty good. And there's the Brainstorm, the forced play Brainstorm. Alright, definitely not attacking now. Oh, they tapped their white mana to cast that Brainstorm. That was a mistake. Maybe I should Brazen Borrow this Aether Vial. Like, that would leave me... because they didn't do the Batterskull there. I'm gonna do that. Because with Chalice now it's not coming back, and that just takes away some of their mana. Alright. Yeah, the fact that they tapped their white last turn, they punted that one, so we don't have to worry about Batterskull, giving me a little breathing room. Alright, now we need one of our payoffs, a Karn, an Urza, and Oko. Uh-oh, they have some sort of 3-mana Merfolk, True Name Nemesis. Alright, they are just full Stoneblade now. Alright, I have another Plague Engineer in the deck somewhere. Yeah, so now it's just a race between the top of my deck finding a payoff and this True Name Nemesis plus Batterskull. Alright, that's not particularly exciting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can hardcast a Force of Will though, so that's pretty cool. I'll get my Lotus Petal back into play. And I have a True Name Nemesis of my own up here. So the race is on. Now I'm kind of wishing I attacked with the Plague Engineer on that earlier turn. I could have attacked with it also on the turn that they tapped their white. So they have 4 life that they might not need right now, which is going to matter pretty soon because we're getting into a race. This transformational sideboard has been really good for them. They just turn into Stoneblade, and they're not even a combo deck anymore. Yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think fetching is better than using the pedal. So what color do I need? I need green. Yeah, this Ancient Tomb is going to start ripping me apart when we're getting beat down by True Name. So we take 3 here down to 8, and then they can make it 7. Yeah, we're actually like just dead next turn if we don't draw the second Plague Engineer right away. Or some answer to True Name. Not sure that's helpful. It's not nothing though, so I keep this one. I get to mill 4, see what I hit. Abrupt Decay is not what I was looking for. Yeah, so that was our chance to do anything this game. And now we're gonna lose. Yeah, I got totally got by the transformational sideboard. That's my My bad for not knowing what Cephalid Breakfast is up to these days out of their sideboard plan. Guess I could have cast Chalice on 0 with this, though Chalice on 0 hurts me a lot. I could have put a backup Chalice on 1 just as another artifact in play in case I draw Uro-za. Ooh, they didn't equip their true name. That's lucky. Alright, so I'm going to block with Emery. Or no. Is it Emery? I think it's Plague Engineer. Because I still have the Tormod script. So I'm going to block with Engineer. I'm glad they didn't equip. That would have been... I guess the clock would be the same. So now I'm just dead on board to this next turn. Alright, so my out is Ensnaring Bridge, which is in my sideboard, which is not particularly helpful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, if I draw Karn, we can actually win. Alright, I have to draw exactly Karn here. Don't freeze me in my upkeep, opponent. Alright, Island is not Karn. But yeah, with Karn we could pay 4, 5, 6, recast the Lotus Petal for 7 to wish for Ensnaring Bridge and be stable. But instead, we are deceased. GG's, opponent. Turns out that Cephalid Breakfast is not a great deck, but Stoneblade is. So they got me good there. So, I mean, that's the problem with these, like, big mana. This is basically a Stompy deck. Like, it's just, like, bug Stompy. It has 4 Ancient Tombs. I'm calling it Stompy. The problem with Stompy decks is when they don't hit a payoff, their deck looks really bad. Like, that game, we just had, like, 7 mana available very early. We were casting stuff out of the graveyard, this and that. We had their combo completely unlocked, but, like, we died to straight up fair and square True Name Nemesis because we couldn't get anything going. And that's the Stompy life. Alright, so we're on the draw. This one is a little slower than I'm super comfortable with, but it does have Force, Chalice, and a payoff, so I'm going to keep it for science. I'd be totally willing to believe I should have shipped this hand. Island Go. Who does that? I'm going to play this Underground Sea. I think that one does the best job of bluffing that we're something different. Just like Underground Sea, go. I could be Storm right now. They could also be Storm right now. Oh my god, is this some sort of mirror? Alright, well, this Chalice of the Void just got pretty bad. Yeah, I suspect that we are in a mirror match. For that reason, I'm going to cast Baleful Strix instead of Chalice. Like, decks with Dimir Signet in them don't usually have 1-drops. Yikes. Alright, cool. So we got them by not casting our Chalice. They committed to their own. And that Wasteland's pretty gross, but I think it's going to be fine. So I could play Chalice on 0, which might end up punishing them. I have 5 zeros in my deck, and they probably have a similar number, but I'm just going to leave this Chalice in my hand. I can cast it on 0, like the turn I'm ready to play Uro-za. What? At the beginning of your draw step. So they can loot? You know what? Okay. Deal. Whoa. They chose the dragon mode. So I can't actually cast Petty Theft because it costs 4, right? Yeah, alright. That's what I thought. You got me good. I thought they were gonna loot. Silly me. Okay, so I think it's time to spew this Emery into play. I guess Baleful Strix is an artifact, so it's not even a spew. It's just a freebie. Target you and permanents you control, so that doesn't affect the stack. I can still counter with Reckless Abandon. There's an Uro, that's pretty hot. Yeah, so now the jig is up. I've finally revealed I'm not some bug control deck. I am, in fact, an artifact Emery deck, just like them. Ensnaring Bridge. I don't care about that. Because once I get Karn into play and Lattice them, they'll eventually have enough cards in their hand that I can just attack. That doesn't matter at all. Alright, so unfortunately they wasted the correct land. They wasted the Trop, not the sea, so that means I can't bring back Uro. Or I actually can bring back Uro, because I can Lotus Petal. Though I think it might be better to get Urza in. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Urza. I should cast this Lotus Petal first, just in case they have days somehow in this contraption. I can't imagine, but alright, so Chalice of the Void's still not useful. Not even as the extra mana, because now that I have Emery plus Lotus Petal, I don't want a Chalice on 0 to be in play. So that's what you're up to. Alright, so if I'm gonna fight over this, this is the spot. Because if they resolve the Foundry and then I counter the sword's just in the graveyard. Okay, so we dodged them assembling the combo. Karn is going to be very good against this deck, though. So let's draw Karn. I better check my mana base before I try to fetch, because there's a lot of lands in play right now. Alright, so 2 Trops, 1 Bayou. 2 Trops, 1 Bayou. Okay, so I'm going to have to use my Lotus Petal to cast this thing. Are there any fetchable lands left? 2 islands, 1 basic swamp. 2 island. Alright, so the basic swamp is still in my deck. So I can pop this for the swamp, make blue, blue, green, green. Alright. Close call. Oh, there's an underground sea also. We're good. Alright, so blue, blue, green, green. Uro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eat everything that's not an artifact. Put this tropical island into play. And I think I want to Chalice on 2. Like, I have a bunch of 2s in my deck, but if they're a Thopter Foundry deck, then I don't want that to happen to me. Oh, I even get to attack. Skadoosh. Alright, I am all in though. Those are all the plays that I had to make. We need a Karn to shut this down before they find, like, Tezzeret. Well played. Got him. Chalice on 2 already did its job. But now we can start spinning Uro-za, so we have a lot of looks. Force of Will is nice. Alright, so I'm going to make my attacks before I start casting spells. Just in case their last card in hand is a counter spell, I want to get my damage in. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can spin Uro-za and cast Force of Will. I shouldn't have made my land drop just in case I hit a land off Uro-za. So that was a small missequence, but wasn't punished. Alright, I'm going to bobble them. Drawing an extra card here is more than mana. Ooh, they have a Karn of their own. Don't daze me. Alright, packed it up. Yeah, alright, so we're in a very similar mirror kind of match, but I just got online before they did. So Mystical Dispute is good. Pretty sure my Chalices just come out. Tormod's Crypt is like fine, but not exciting. Abrupt Decay is probably pretty good. Plague Engineer naming Thopter is going to be a big game. So I got to cut one more card. The rest of this stuff I want to leave in here for Karn. Like, Tormod's Crypt isn't that good, even against Thopter Sword. I didn't see an Emery out of them. That would be a reason to bring in at least 2 of the Crypts. It's probably safe to imagine they have Emery, but I didn't see it, so I want to kind of take it easy. Oko is going to be real good. They did see Emery, though, so they might bring in their Ley Lines or Graveyard Hate. They saw Emery and Uro, so they're likely to bring in Graveyard Hate if they have it. Alright, that's my plan. This hand sucks. They showed me Wasteland also, like on top of all their other stuff. So I guess it depends on how explosive they are. Like, if they explode, this hand sucks. If they try to play fair, this hand's pretty good. I'm just going to mulligan it. It's gotten worse. Oh no. Alright, well, I'll keep this. This has a turn 1 Uro-za. So Oko's at the bottom, and I guess it's between Bauble or Engineer. I probably have to ship Bauble. Alright, and hope they don't have Force of Will. Okay, there's the Ley Line. Called that. Let's hope they kept a shitty hand based on Ley Line. Oh no. Please don't have Chalice on 0. Name Lotus Petal. Name Lotus Petal. They'll probably just name Uro-za. So Urza can still tap my artifacts for mana, but he can't cast cards off the top of my deck anymore. Yeah, I have to imagine that they boarded out their chalices. Ooh. That would be exciting if I had another blue card. And this is the world we signed up for, so here we go. Please don't have Force of Will. They didn't have Force of Will. I guess if they had Force, they wouldn't have named Urza. Maybe that's not true. Alright, let the beatdown begin. It's my 2 points of power versus their Ancient Tomb. E-Bridge. Alright, so a land of some variety would be a great draw. Alright, that was pretty good. Gets me an extra point of damage in. I should have been more specific. A black land would have been pretty good. But in we go. Their Wasteland is kind of goofy because facing off against Urza, it's not even that good. Yeah, so I think Brazen Borrower is going to be better as a blue card for Force Will than it is as a Brazen Borrower. Alright, now I can hardcast Force if I don't attack, but I'm pretty sure I just want to attack. Also, now I have 5 mana, I can Petty Theft the Spyglass and start activating Urza. Wow, yeah, they kept kind of a shitter on the strength of Leyline. So I could end step this Brazen Borrower and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, put him to 1. That sounds pretty good, actually. Does that change the clock? It means they can't tap their Ancient Tomb. But it also means I can't cast Force of Will. So I guess the question is putting them to 1 versus being able to Force of Will. Alright, I'm going to keep my Force of Will up. Now I look silly. Alright, I guess the clock is the same ultimately, assuming they don't use their the fact that they're not at 1 to tap a Ancient Tomb. Yeah, so it looks like my opponent is experiencing the Stompy problem that I experienced in the last match, where so in Stompy decks you have to set up and pay off. I bet they just have 7 payoffs in their hand and they never set up, and they ended up just bleeding out slowly as a result. Okay, so we're on the play. This hand is not very good. It doesn't explode, it doesn't do anything. We have payoffs, but no setup. Alright, here we have both. We have turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Urza, or Karn. Wow, this is good stuff. So I'm going to have to bottom one of these cards. So basically the choice is, do I bottom a payoff? Or do I bottom this bauble? I guess I can't cast both of these payoffs anyway. So I think I'm going to bottom... I'm going to bottom the bauble. Yeah. I just want to be able to make sure that I'm getting paid off eventually. This is not a hand that can ever beat a Wasteland, though, so let's hope that doesn't happen. Shit. Got me. Alright, now we just gotta draw lands for the rest of time. Alright, I'm gonna bobble them now because my deck does contain Force Will. Alright, they have Abrupt Decay. There's some sort of Wasteland Abrupt Decay deck. Hopefully this Chalice is shutting down a whole Delver strategy over there. We didn't need another 4-drop. So now we're doing what our opponent did last game. Field of the Dead. Alright, so they're the Titan Stompy deck. So Chalice of the Void, not very good. Alright, we're one away here. One more mana, and we're in business. Yeah, so if I had perfect information, I would have led on the island and not cast the Chalice, but obviously jamming your turn 1 Chalice is where you want to be in a Chalice deck. Uh-oh. Oko, Thief of Thieves. So that's really bad, because that means that if I cast Uro-za, they can just steal it. Good thing I don't have to worry about that, because I can't cast it. Alright, so we're looking pretty dead here. That turn 1 Wasteland shut it down. Yeah, Legacy's in a weird spot right now where decks just don't really care about Chalice of the Void. Like, there's just so many Stompy decks. Yeah, so now we have to do Karn. Yikes. And we've already seen the Abrupt Decay from them, so we know that, like, Ensnaring Bridge isn't even going to do anything. Plus, they have Oko in play, so it's all bad news. Guess I could jam the Uro-za. They would have to... Or no, they're going to have food. Never mind. I could jam one Uro-za and then just follow up with the other. Because Karn really doesn't do anything on this board. Alright, so I could Uro-za plus Emry. They're going to steal my Uro-za, which sucks, but I'm not sure there's a way around that right now. Like, I just have to play into it, try to overload what they're doing. I guess they can decay the Emry, though. They could also decay the Construct, but they have to pick one or the other. They don't get both. When Field of the Dead can beat a Mycosynth Lattice just by making land drops, so we gotta watch out for that. Huh. Aggressive. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. That did not deny me anything I wanted to do. That was actually great, because I got the Abrupt Decay out of their hand. Thespian Stage is interesting, because that shows me they're probably a Merit Lage deck. Unless they're just making more Fields of the Dead. Or more Valakutes. Like, this might just be like the Teamer lands deck with Oko and not actually Titan Stompy. Oh yeah, Rashad Port is also a smoking gun. Yeah, this is lands, not Stompy. Alright, let's see if they want my Uro-za. Yeah, once I get some like material in the way, I can jam Karn and do like a 2-turn situation where like I play Karn, block, and then the following turn do something good with it. So we're not dead yet, though it is very bad. Turns out turn 2 Oko on an uncontested board is a powerful play in Magic the Gathering. Alright, so Emery is fired, and then they can steal Uro-za. They could also just Elk Uro-za and keep Oko going up. Or they could ignore it completely and just get to work. Alright, so this attack is really scary because on the one hand, it's a free attack because I can't trade with their thing and they're getting in 3 damage. And on the other hand, they just created a second Taiga, so like they might have another Punishing Fire. And they haven't made their land drop. They could also just like grow over the Burn Willows. But what happens if I don't do it? Like it's all bad. Like if they have Grove, I think I'm just dead anyway, so get in there, Uro-za. Yeah, like I'm on a 2-turn clock if I don't block, and I lose my Uro-za if I do block, so it's all just bad news. Wasteland and Port. Yeah, Wasteland's pretty bad for me here. Well, Uro-za, the good news is that Urza's pretty good at generating mana. The bad news is what am I going to do with it? So I could cast the Karn here, but I think we're past the point where that's useful. I guess that's not true. So Karn can get Tormod's Crypt right away. It clears out that Loam and the Punishing Fire. Alright, so their hand is kind of shitty, but they do have Oko. Alright, all in, dead to everything. What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're pretty far away from this Field of the Dead being on, though, so there's a little bit of silver lining. They can't activate their Mox, so they might as well just Elk it, put me to 3. They could also trade their Mox that they can't use for my Uro-za, put me to 3, and have an Uro-za. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can even activate Uro-za. Alright, yep, that's what they did. Alright, so they are spending the time to kill Karn. That's kind of lucky, I guess, for me. Though, yeah, that was the correct thing to do, because if I just get Ensnaring Bridge, then they're in some trouble. Oh, they didn't activate Uro-za. Why even take it if you're not going to activate it, you wuss? Oh yeah, Rashad and Port. That's bad. I'm going to need a land to function here. I'll take that. That counts. So if I cast Uro-za, they can Elk it. If I cast Karn and get Ensnaring Bridge, they can kill Karn, but then I'll have Bridge in hand at least. I can threaten a lethal attack on the Oko. Oh no, they have Maze of Ith. Never mind. I can't do that at all. If I cast the Uro-za, I'll have 2 5/5s and an Elk. That seems like the best way to stabilize this board. Just have to hope they don't find something shitty they can trade for my other Uro-za. Though that doesn't even do anything. It just kills Urza, basically. Alright, I'll make them use the Mazavith, see if they remember it's in play. Wow. What just happened? Either they punted real bad, or I'm dead somehow. I guess that's why you that's why you gut check them. Because sometimes they just forget. This is where they just like cast 3 punishing fires and I die though. Alright, so they're making a basic island. Alright, so they're moving on to Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah. There's land type number 7. That's the only reason they would change their useful land to a not useful land. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 mana on my turn. So I can Karn, get Sorcerer's Spyglass, make sure I don't lose, and then Lattice them next turn. Huh. Just shoving damage in here. Do I want to go to 3? I cannot afford to lose my Urza here. Yeah, so I'm going to block like this and just go to 3. Oh, now they remembered Mazavith. Yeah, that's fine. Bummer. Alright. 2. Karn. Yeah, so missing on that land drop means I can't Ensnaring Bridge this turn. I can get Engineered Explosives, though, and blow it for 0. That clears out zombies, foods, and my construct, and my mana. Ooh, that's bad. That's scary. I could get Liquid Metal Coating. That doesn't do anything, though. I could cast Ballista for 1. That also doesn't do anything. I guess I should get the Engineered Explosives, just in case. Like, I'm dead to Punishing Fire here, so I might just have to play like they don't have it. Like, there's no path to 6 mana if I pop this Explosives. But the Explosives will buy me a ton of time if I can get the Lattice into play. Oh, now they have Merit Lage threatening too. This is also an extra mana next turn with Urza, if I get a next turn. It's really only Punishing Fire that kills me here. Alright, not even attacking, I love it. Alright, so, ooh, they did not do the thing. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can Lattice them, but that's not good enough. Alright, I have to get Bridge first. Yeah, I just have to spend a turn hoping they can't remove Bridge. And then next turn I can Lattice them. Alright, this game has gotten kind of wonky. Remember when they had turned 2 Oko and I thought we were dead for sure? That was the same game, right? I need them to not have Oko or Abrupt Decay, or I guess Punishing Fire doesn't kill me anymore. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. I do need another mana in order to lattice them next turn, because this Karn is too small at this point. Oh wait, I have a mana. Lotus Petal is in my graveyard. I need them to not port me again and cast Lotus Petal. Alright, they're certainly making moves, playing to their outs here. Yep, whatever. I'm all in. Don't have Oko. Yeah, so this game is going to get weird. If I survive this turn, I'm going to lattice them on my turn, but then it's lattice Karn versus Bridge, or Field of the Dead and Bridge. So I'm going to have to keep my hand small and figure out a way to win through their 2020 Flying Indestructible. So I have to like kill them with Baleful Strixes. Because I have Okos in my deck, so it's not that bad. I have Brazen Borrowers too. Alright. So this is totally doable. It's just going to be really weird. Oh, they didn't slam anything into play, so I'm getting slow rolled or they don't have it. Alright, too late. Yeah, they don't know about the second Karn. They remembered to port me this time. That might be bad. I need to draw a land or a 0-cost artifact. It was both. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is the number I needed. So let's get this Mishra's Bauble back into play. I'm not going to plus Karn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, just triple checking the math here. Whoa. And that'll do it. We just have to see if they want to concede, or we're way ahead on clock, so they can keep making zombies, but that's all they can do. And eventually I'll kill them with Strixes. Ugh. And they should concede unless their plan is to just F6 repeatedly and try to get back ahead on clock while I figure out how to win. Which, I mean, unfortunately on Magic Online is a real plan. Alright, so Cast Bauble. What's in my sideboard? Liquid Metal Coating, Worm Coil Engine. I'm gonna grab this Walking Ballista, that'll kill them eventually. All right, so here's the ballista for 7. That. All right, go ahead. I just have to spend a couple turns ratcheting that up, and then they'll lose. I don't think there's a way out of this. I guess if I draw another Force of Will or another reactive spell, then I'll have too many cards in my hand. Let's just not do that. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right, so they're at 16. So I got to do this 2 more times. I didn't activate my Karn. I hope it doesn't matter. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. What's the shortcut for this? W. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, go ahead. I guess if they have like Engineered Plague on Zombie, they could kill me here. Get it under the bridge. All right, so you're dead. All right. So they got some of their clock back. Good job. All right, so that game was insane. I'm glad that was on camera. Plague Engineers are a good answer. A double Plague Engineer against Field of the Dead actually beats it. I've lost multiple games on camera when I had Field of the Dead's chunking and my opponent was just like, double Plague Engineer, you're dead. So I'm bringing in 2 of the Tormod scripts, leaving 1 out here for Karn. Chalice of the Void actually pretty good, I think. Putting on 1 or 2 could be pretty effective against them. Baleful Strix, not exciting. Force of Will is also not a card I want in large numbers. Like basically exactly Oko, or is like the thing I want to stop from happening. I don't think I need Signet in this matchup. Maybe I can go down on Chalice a little. Like ramming a turn 1 Chalice, especially on the draw, is not super exciting, but like getting Chalice on 2 in the mid game to stop punishing fires and loams is actually pretty good. Alright, yeah, I'm into this plan. Chalice might be better than Force, honestly, though crop rotation is still a thing. So I want some number of instant speed answers to Merit Lage, so Brazen Borrower or Force of Will do that. Alright, so on the draw here. This hand is not exciting. Uro-is pretty sweet. If we draw a 0 mana artifact, we can cast a turn 1 Emery. Oh wait, no, we have turn 1 Emery anyway. I'm dumb. I'm going to keep this. Yeah, I looked at the Ancient Tomb and my brain was like, this doesn't make blue, and I just forgot that I have an actual land. Yeah, we have turn 1 Emery with Bauble. I'm keeping. Snap keep. If this hand didn't have a blue source, it would be a mulligan though. I'm glad you're all here learning from me. Alright, opponent's already down to 5. However, this hand gets shit murdered by Graveyard Hate. Oh my god. Like, if they did board into ley lines, this would be bad. Alright. They don't have ley lines that I can see. Okay, that was a good one. Definitely getting a basic island against the old wasteland strategy there. Oh, we didn't have turn 1 Emery. I got so lucky drawing that 0. I was right the first time. You all tricked me. Alright, so I'm going to bobble them. They're drawing Caracas. Shit. That's a good draw. That's fucking annoying. And we drew our 3rd Emery. Okay, so this Caracas is going to ruin our lives. We'd actually be like totally fine if not for this Caracas. Remember that time I kept an unplayable hand and just ripped the best possible card, but then my opponent did too, so we were even. I wonder what they're thinking about over there. Like, I guess they're thinking spending a turn of development versus just clearing this Emery. Like, how bad is Emery in play for 1 turn? Hopefully they decide Emery's not a big deal, because I desperately need this Emery to be drawing cards off Mishra's Bauble. Okay, they found the line after a few moments of deliberation. Alright, so I think I want to cast this Ancient Tomb. Or play the Ancient Tomb. You don't cast Ancient Tombs. Alright, so I'm going to replay the Emery. I want to keep this Caracas on some amount of lock. It's like I have my own, like a build your own Rishadan port, I guess. The fact that they took so much time to think about just what seems to me the obvious play, it makes me think that they want their mana. They want to be doing stuff with their mana and not bouncing Emery. So they might just like cast Oko here. Though that seems so much worse than bouncing Emery again. Alright, definitely not Oko. Not with that mana. Sylvan Library. Okay, that's what they were thinking about last turn. That's a reasonable debate to have with yourself. Alright, so let's cast Karn the Great Creator, I guess. I was going to cast Uro, but this is pretty good too. Alright, so I'm going to grab the Tormod's Crypt. At least get that into play. We're starting to work towards a functional Mox Opal. This library is pretty scary though. Not gonna lie. Brary. Wow, this Caracas was good. Alright, so I milled one of my Plague Engineers, so I can't count on shutting down Field of the Dead in a long game. I can slow it down, but I'm going to need Ensnaring Bridge to actually shut it down. Alright, so they are representing Merit Lage here with a crop rotation. Alright, that doesn't matter. Now they're not doing that anymore. Come on, Urza. Brazen Borrower is a nice little insurance policy. All right, so I'm gonna get the liquid metal coating. And then I can also Uro. Oh wait, no I can't. Never mind, I'm one short. I forgot I didn't get a land drop this turn. That does turn on Mox Opal though. Yeah, drawing the Brazen Borrower is nice. That gives me, that let me go down with Karn here. Yikes. Shit. Alright, I've been vigored. But anyway, the Brazen Borrower, I would have had to leave Karn at least 2 to get Ensnaring Bridge in case I need it. But the Borrower lets me not have to worry about that. Also, sideboarding out Strix is fun, is cool, because that's like something you can wish for to block Merit Lage for a turn. Wish boards are so much fun. Alright, opponents at 7. They pitched Drop of Honey for this Force of Vigor. Yeah, that was a really good Force of Vigor. I'm not gonna pretend it wasn't. This is Oko, and then attack. Alright, but they lose their Sphere of Resistance if they want to kill Karn. Which, I mean, I'm sure they do. Why wouldn't you? Seems like a huge mistake not to do that. Okay, thought so. Alright, so Karn's going away. If only I had 1 more mana. But they wisely destroyed my Mox Opal. Abrupt Decay, right on time for me to not have any black mana. Alright, let's get to work. Uro. Find a land, how about it? Nice. Alright, so I'm a green source away from... I guess I could bounce the Sphere of Resistance here with my mana that's just hanging out. But that doesn't sound like a good plan. Like, I would definitely rather save that for a Merit Lage. Just don't want to just die. Also at 14 life, and they don't have any other artifacts to animate right now. Like, this clock's pretty anemic. This triple Emery has just been a nightmare, though. I guess Uro doesn't even do anything because they still have this Caracas. Alright, Merit Lage is operational. Alright, they made food so they can trade for an Uro-za if I cast one. Urza's also a legend. Wow, Caracas is good against my deck. Oko. You arrived at the wrong time, unfortunately. Yeah, so I think I just have to pass here. Like, because of Ancient Tomb, I don't have any configuration of tapping my lands that lets me leave a Brazen Borrower. Like, I could Uro and just pray to all the gods in the sky that it makes, that it hits an untapped land. But I have a bunch of redundant Emeries here anyway, so. Alright, Dark Depths, Merit Lage. Get out of here. Wow. Okay, I'm dead. Alright, Red Elemental Blast is a card that this deck has. Okay, good to know. Alright, so on the play, I think I might want my chalices a lot more. And I'm just going to get off Force of Will entirely. Maybe I should get lower on Emery, though just having the Caracas was pretty nonsense. That Emery would have been insane otherwise. Alright, no counter spells, all in. Let's go. On the Plizzle, we have the turn 1 Chalice. Let's hope it's good. So I also could just turn 1 Emery, but I'm not going to. I actually can turn 1 Emery here because you can announce Emery and then use Lotus Petal to pay for it. That's a real thing you can do. I guess I don't have a turn 2 Emery if I make this play, but I think shutting down their explorations and crop rotations and red elemental blasts evidently is worth doing. I mean, there's definitely hands that lands can play where this just doesn't do anything. Like if they're just like Mox Diamond, Life from the Loam, start milling wastelands and build up. But I guess shutting off exploration is a pretty big deal. Yeah, there's the diamond. Yuck. Oh, I totally had to turn to Emery. I am struggling with my Emery math right now. It's kind of a mess. Maybe I should have fetched Swamp there to play around Choke. Hope I don't get choked. I definitely should have fetched basic Swamp there to play around Choke at least a little bit. That was bad. I did mill a Lotus Petal though, so if I find Abrupt Decay, I can get out from under a Choke. My opponent also suddenly under 5 minutes on their clock. Deep in the tank on this Sylvan Library. Please don't have Caracas. Alright, that's not Caracas. It might be Uro or Oko though. Could also be Uro, I guess, but we haven't seen that one yet. You gonna elk me, bro? Probably should. I hope you don't. Alright. So the bad news here is that because they plussed Oko, they can just steal my Urza if I cast it. So I'm going to cast Bauble from my graveyard, since I have this petal anyway. Yeah, like if this Emery sticks around, like if they trade one of their artifacts for Urza, then this is big enough to attack through Urza, and I still have Emery active. So just taxing this Oko a little bit Seems like it's worth doing. The scariest thing is if they just like alk the Uro-za and play Dark Depths, because I would have to get pretty lucky to get out of that. I'd have to find a Brazen Borrower. Okay, so they're alking my Chalice, which means that they have crop rotation or exploration. Oh, Elvish Reclaimer, okay. That's kind of like crop rotation. I'll count it. Drop of honey. Destroy the creature with the lowest power. And they get to pick if... Alright, Chalice on 0. That sucks. Okay, whatever. And Caracas, are you fucking kidding me? What a world this person lives in. Alright, so... I am gonna bobble them because I'm gonna need cards here. Like so. Alright, there is nothing castable in my graveyard. So what does Karn do? Not much. If I hadn't popped the bobble, it would turn off Oko. As it stands, Karn's... Oh no, Karn kills Chalice. That's actually insane. Target my bobble. Kill Chalice. Extract my bobble. Lame. Fine. I guess that's not a huge deal. They're now Hellbent and drawing Grove of the Burn Willows. That's a fine situation, I guess. So let's math this out. They can bounce Uro-za, bounce Emery, drop of Honey Construct, and then attack Karn for 4. Okay, so I'm just not going to attack. Oh, they didn't Caracas in the end step. That was a huge mistake. They could have cleared basically my whole board this turn. Alright, so one of the cards available to them is Grove of the Burn Willows. Like, they basically have to go for Merit Lage here because they don't have enough time to do anything else. Okay, now you can't go for Merit Lage because this doesn't work. Interesting. Oh, hello. Alright, so they have Sphere of Resistance in play. So I think I have to turn off Oko before I do anything else. Can I turn off Oko and cast Uro-za this turn? I don't think so. I think Spyglass is the way to do it. Oko, Thief of Crowns. Wow, they didn't remove the bauble that they targeted. Rookie mistake on Magic Online. Alright, so Emery's gonna die. In the upkeep. Yeah, I didn't attack because I just want to protect Karn. Schadenport, that sucks. So that costs 2. I think it's worth bobbling them. Because I'm going to need a land, like actual land, because they're going to port me. Okay, that's tapped. Drew the land. Drop of Honey will kill Uro-za, so I got to make sure I'm getting my money's worth. I could just play Strix. That blocks for a turn. Oh, all spells cost more. It's a Sphere of Resistance, not Thorn of Amethyst. So maybe I should be attacking now. No, I can't lose Karn. I'll wish for the Lattice now, and then try to jam it in the future. Alright, so they have the depths. I can wish for bridge next turn, but I lose if they have any removal for the bridge. That's interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess I just have to get bridge, because Strix doesn't help anymore. I could Uro to go to 21 life. Buys me an extra turn with Karn. No, I think I have to just get the bridge. And hope I don't lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So if I cast Uro-za, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can make 3 mana, that's not enough. Yeah, if they kill Uro-za in response to the construct being generated, I won't have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I just have to hope that they have nothing, pretty much. And they've had Sylvan Library the whole game, so it's unlikely they have nothing. This is bad news. I'm definitely gonna die here. I feel like I've messed up this game somewhere. Alright, Crop Rotation being the last card in their hand. What does that do? They already had the combo. Is there a land that kills Ensnaring Bridge? Like Blast Zone, but that takes a long time. Bajuka Bog. Okay, I don't care about that. Alright, I guess it's whether there is a Abrupt Decay in their top 3 cards. Alright, they went to combat, they didn't have it. And they're going to time out, though this game would have been pretty interesting to play out. Now I'm over 20 life. Alright. What a wild game this turned out to be, but they're not going to have time to finish it. Really interesting game. I wish we had time to finish that. Oh well. That was insane. Alright, we're on the play for round 4 here. I'm going to keep this hand. It's explosive on mana, but needs a payoff. So let's just hope that this Strix gets us there. And we get to draw 2 extra cards right away. And we have Force blue card back up. So we're unlikely to die immediately. Okay, so I want to bobble them, but I don't want to lose my mana. But, oh no, Strix is my 3rd artifact. We're good. All right, so I'm just going to bobble now. All right, accumulated knowledge. So there's some sort of blue control deck. There was a weirdo blue-red Delver deck that played accumulated knowledge recently, and we are playing against it apparently. All right, so we're against AK Delver. All right, Emery was a good one. All right, let's see if we can get our engines online here. We got a Chalice and a Strix in the bin. So Emery plus Strix is kind of bananas against a Delver deck. Like you just eat up all their threats and then recur your thing. All right, so I will spend significant resources protecting this Emery. I will Force of Will a Lightning Bolt if I have to. Ooh, not on that. I don't care about that one bit. Yeah, I can just cast that out of my graveyard. Yeah, I think that was probably a mistake, unless they have a second Bolt. Or maybe they have the second Delver, and they just need to get damage across the finish line. All right, that's good. Glad that worked. I'm glad they didn't go after the Emery first, because then they would have had the double bolt to get through it. So I guess this is kind of interesting now. I would probably rather have Chalice in play. So I'm gonna cast the Chalice first, and then I'll come back for the Strix, because this will protect Emery from future bolts. Yeah, I can even Petty Theft this Delver if I really need to. But I'm gonna save the Petty Theft for like a Dreadhorde Arcanist or something I'm actually worried about. Yeah, I can start recurring Strixes, and that should shut this down pretty quick. This is the first time in a long time that I've played against just like an honest Delver deck. Everyone's playing Stompy, everyone's got Chalice, everyone's got Ancient Tomb, everyone's got Primeval Titan. It's a wild world out there. Let's see. All right, that's the AK. So this deck might have some number of Brazen Borrowers to clear my Chalice, which would be annoying. True Name Nemesis might be kind of tough to beat here. I'll take it. Never not. Yeah, like true name is probably the scariest thing they could do. Sinkhole my Emery. Alright, that sucks too, but I mean, whatever. Unfortunately, Brazen Borrower only bounces opposing permanents, so I can't save my Emery. Let's just draw Uro-za and shut it down. Alright, so I think at the end of this turn, I'll just cast Brazen Borrower as a 3/1 if they don't put a permanent into play. Gotta start getting some pressure on them over there. I've never seen a more embarrassing daze in my life. What I don't want to see is their own Brazen Borrower. If they like bounce Chalice. Oh, Mystic Sanctuary, get back Sinkhole, and then they can Sinkhole my Borrower. Okay. That's fine. That cost them a draw step and a whole turn. And it cost them an AK in their graveyard if they want to actually cast that, because they'll have to delve it away. Yeah, that's a fine deal. Hello. All right, so now I have to decide, do I want to cast Uro immediately? And yes, I do. That was an easy decision. All right, they just backed it up to the Uro. All right, that was hot. All right, so we just Ramburgled a Delver deck. I like it. That's the first time Chalice has actually been good, and I'm not gonna board it out immediately. All right, so I like Dispute, Decay, and Engineer. I like Borrower. Force of Will, a little bit wonky against the Delver deck. These 4-mana blue cards, Urza, is pretty rough. Like, I hate cutting payoffs, but these 4-mana spells are troublesome. I don't think I want Simic Signet. Like, I want my cards to do things. Got to make one more cut here. I want some number of forces. Like, normally this comes down to like, do they have the like a braid for my Chalice to kill me all in one turn or to get back on board all in one turn in the mid game? And if I can counter the abrade, I'm usually good to go. So I don't want to just throw away my ability to fight over that. All right, maybe. I think cutting Urza makes more sense than cutting Emery. The Urza's so good. Karn also real good, but so the Urza is a better card to have, but it's blue and it gets red blasted. Karn is slightly worse, but it does not get red blasted. That's like the back and forth here. This is actually really tough. I'm definitely not cutting any of my 3-mana stuff. It's between these guys. All right, I'm gonna cut the Karn. All right, let's do it. Hope that's right. Because like Karn is good at shutting down games that if they go long we could lose. Like just having Lattice in your pocket is really nice. But you don't need to do that against Delver. Like what you need to do is stabilize at a high life total. And then you can just win with whatever's left over. And a construct token is usually pretty good at doing that. All right, so unless I draw a basic island, I'm going to lead on basic swamp because I don't want to get wastelanded out of the game. Oh, JK. I'm leading on Chalice. I mean, Daze would be pretty good here. Oh, they didn't have Daze. That's good. So how about we don't flip Delver and I resolve Plague Engineer. That's what I want out of this situation. All right, halfway there. Oh, Wasteland's gonna slow me down a lot. But hopefully the Chalice will do more damage than the Wasteland. All right, so now I'm gonna play Seat of the Synod because Mystical Dispute's actually a card I might cast, even though it does expose me to Wasteland in a way that I'm not really comfortable with. I guess they couldn't cast 1-drops, and what blue 2-drop would they cast? So maybe I should have played the Swamp, because like I want to save the Dispute for a True Name Nemesis. Like this is probably Dreadhorde Arcanist or Young P. All right, Young Peasy. All right, let's get a look. Scalding Tarn is coming. So Plague Engineer is pretty good. It's nice that I have 2 of them. Insect Shaman. Yeah, that Wasteland on my Ancient Tomb was gnarly. We're getting just properly delvered here. Gonna need a land. All right, found a land. We're in a lot of trouble to basically any counterspell, but that can't be avoided at this point. I just hope it's Force of Will and not Daze. You can't Flusterstorm this. You can AK in response. That works. All right, so humans are getting smaller. I'm naming human because that kills Young P and the front half of Delver. So like, I mean, I already have Chalice, so that's not a huge deal, but it is not nothing. All right, so I'm gonna go to 5 here, and I'm gonna have to navigate this Delver. My whole I think I have to. Ooh, this is a human insect. I thought it was. I didn't realize it was human on the back end too. So I have to force this, and I'm gonna pitch Urza to do it. And if I can get this second Plague Engineer down on human, we're actually just gonna win. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, that worked out way better than I meant for it to. If I draw a land and have Dispute backup to go with this, that's gonna be insane. All right. Well, they didn't have a counterspell last turn, so let's just shut it down. All right, gonna double down on human. Bang. All right, coast is clear. So we know about Mystic Sanctuary. They could Sanctuary this sinkhole and kill this engineer, put me to 4, but I still think attacking is worth doing. I'm gonna have to win this game somehow. Yeah, that was exactly the situation I described, where they had like one spicy interaction card. Like I said a braid in my example, but it ended up being sinkhole. Oh, there's a braid. All right, I might just get bolted out here. But having the Force of Will for their one spicy card was a big deal. Hopefully I don't just get bolted into the earth here. They don't really have many threats they can deploy, and I can cast a second chalice. I mean, bolting this engineer attack me for one is a pretty good turn. They did not shuffle, that's scary. I don't want them to, or I don't care if they have another Delver, that doesn't matter. Basically, I'm worried about Trinium Nemesis at this point. Having the backup chalice so hot. I hope they try to counter it, because I'm ready. Force it. Give me something to dispute. Nope. Nope. Alright, so now we have dispute up for blue spells. We still are not ready for non-blue spells. And they don't have a bolt, or else they would have cast it in response to that chalice. They don't have a brainstorm, they would have responded to chalice. Bang. So if they have the force of will, alright, they didn't, cool. This has worked out pretty well. Alright, that was a nice draw. I was not going to shove Karn into Daze, but I will totally shove Karn now that I can play around it. And I'm going to use my pedal because my life total matters a lot right now. Alright, what's in the old side EB? Walking Ballista is a good one. Yeah, so they can Mystical Sanctuary for a Braid and reset it, clear this chalice. I just hope they don't have double bolt. Not having to tap the Ancient Tomb was real nice. Because like if they dazed me and I paid, then I'm at 3, then they just abrade bolt. Yikes. Okay, they're going for damage instead of chalice. They've chosen to ignore it. Alright, they're putting a damage on Karn. That makes sense. That way he can't wish for anything else right away. I'm not going to animate any of my zero cost artifacts. Then Ballista for 2 will cover this elemental so I can start bashing. It's another nemesis. Aria Flame, my goodness, I'm going to 15 life. That does play through Chalice of the Void pretty well. I'm just going to kill this thing because I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, I'm at 15. Race is on. One, two, three, four, five, six. Alright, I guess I can just get Lattice here. I could also get Worm Coil Engine. So they can't Spell Pierce, they can't Daze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would have to have actual Force of Will. And if they don't, they're dead. Alright, we managed to Lattice a Delver deck. That was awesome. Alright, we're on the draw for round number 5. And this hand is all dressed up with nowhere to go. I'm gonna mulligan it. Just all set up, no payoff. Couldn't even pitch that Force of Will. This is a turn 1 Emery. I'm in for that. I'm gonna ship. I don't really want to ship Oko. I guess it's Strix. Alright, yeah. I'll bottom the Strix. And it was between Strix, Force of Will, or Oko. And if I bottom Force of Will, I'm hoping that they're a fair deck. And if I bottom, yikes. Alright, go ahead. So they don't appear to be a fair deck. Fair deck don't play duress. This will be interesting though. Like if they're worried about Force of Will or turn 1 Emery, like they could just take my Opal or my Bauble and deny my Emery. But no, they don't care about that. Let's draw Force of Will immediately. All right, let's see if we're dead on turn 2. We found a Chalice in that graveyard, so you're saying there's a chance. I could also draw a Force of Will off of this Bauble. I did not. All right, let's see if we're dead. This appears to be trusty old ad nauseum. Finding the Infernal Tutor is kind of lame because that's important to go off. But them seeing the Chalice in the bin here means that they have to go off or answer Emery right now, or they need to settle in to win through a Chalice. That is the proposition I've put before them. Oh, we drew Force. That's so nice. I'm going to Chalice on 1. It's possible 0's better. But I'm feeling kind of bold with this Chalice plus Force situation. I might get punished for it. Ancient Tomb. Alright, so I can play Bauble from the graveyard. I'm going to save the Bauble. So I can cast this Oko, which leaves me without a blue card for Force of Will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have the mana, so I'm just going to hang out for a second. And if this Bauble or my next draw step yield a blue card, then I will be alright to cast the Oko and start beating down. Nice. Well played. Maybe they are just trying to get Hellbent for the tutor, or trying to get Threshold. Both are things that this deck cares about. Let's hope they run straight into Force of Will. Oh god, they're ad nauseaming. Oh, okay. They went Hellbent. Oh, they changed their mind. Oh. Okay, so now they're Hellbent with ad nauseam on the stack. Now I'll just win. Alright, bang. Alright, navigated that one. Chalice of the Void, too good. Alright, so we're playing against Storm Marino. So I want some number of crypts in my deck. It might be 2, it might be 3. I want the Plague Engineers to deal with goblins, and I want the Engineer Explosives to lend my sideboard so I can have an out with Karn. What are the cuts now? Chalice and Force, untouchable here. Emry was insane in that one. Uro-za might be a little slow. Baleful Strix, also not exciting. I have to be careful because I'm cutting... I don't want to cut too many blue cards. Maybe Uro is actually worse than Baleful Strix. Because this is an artifact and a blue card. Alright, I guess the last question is, do I leave a crypt in the sideboard to Karn for? Or do I want them all in play? Or maximize my possibility of just drawing them? So if I stick Karn, they might... I don't know. Karn is also very good against them. Like, Null Rod is great against these Storm decks. So this is the last tough call here. This, like, Brazen Borrower isn't very good, though it is a blue card. It's also a flash threat, like if we settle into this, like, draw-go game. But I don't know why we would settle into that, because all my counterspells are Force of Will. Like, it's not like in Miracles where I'm holding up Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, Counterspell, and I need flash threats. Oko's pretty bad. Alright. Is Oko worse than Uro? I'm not convinced on that. I think Oko is better than Uro. Alright, let's do with this. Maybe I wanted the Mystical Dispute just as like another counterspell. Wow, this hand's fucked. If they don't turn 1 me or duress me, I'm going to have Chalice on 0 and 1, and I'm going to have Torment Script in play. And if they do Thoughtseize me, I'm still going to have Chalice on 1. Nice. Alright, so they're going to know to run out all their zeros if... So, like, what they could do is... They're probably going to take one of the Chalices, let's be serious. But they could take Tormod's Crypt and just try to sculpt some graveyard-based line. Alright. So I'm going to have Chalice on 1 and Crypt in play. That works for me. I'm going to need colored mana at some point. Like, hopefully next turn. Yeah, if I find just like Underground Sea, we're off to the races. Because Plague Engineer is ready to answer goblins. Emry is ready to start digging out of this mutual hellhole we've put ourselves in. Getting Emry also is a backup Chalice because this is Abrupt Decay mana. They could totally just Abrupt Decay me and win. Colored Source? Colored Source? Another Emry. Great. Alright. This is, again, the trouble of Ancient Tomb decks sometimes. Also deck full of Legends. They didn't Abrupt Decay in the end step, so either they don't have it or they're still sculpting. Ugh. Alright. We're not going to win this game if it continues like this. We just got to hope that this Chalice, we ride it into the sunset. So Blue Land or Karn are my best draws. Or Fetch Land or Karn. I should be more specific. Alright, I found a Blue Land. Emry is on the table. Alright, we just milled a Karn, that sucks, and 2 Force of Wills, so many of our best payoffs are gone. But we can have a backup Chalice next turn. So I'm not much of a Chalice of the Void player. You know, if you've watched my videos, this is a skill set I'm learning. So the choices for this Chalice are 0, 1, or 2. Like, I could just double up on the 1, or I could just die right now. Are they just going for an ad nauseam? Are they going for like a small number of goblins? What's the plan here? It must be ad nauseam, right? Yeah, they pre-floated their mana. All right, it's time. Hurkyl's Recall, that's good. Past in Flames. All right. This is not very good yet. They're at 2. That did not go very well for them. So I believe they played Swamp this turn. Yeah, they played Swamp this turn, so they don't have a land drop. They didn't hit any zeros. So they would have to like pass the turn, Herc me end step. Whoops. Do we get a shame concede off that? All right, so if I just Chalice on 2, now that I have perfect information about their hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One of these cards isn't in there anymore. I don't know. All right, so I'm pretty sure if I just cast Chalice on 2, I can't lose. All right, there it is. I'm going to play another Emery to freshen up my bin here. Try to find some more stuff to cast. So they can't Herc. They can't Writ. They can't Preordain. They can't cast. They can resolve Past in Flames is the only card in their hand they could resolve right now. Oh, they discarded that. All right. Yeah, I'll be impressed if they navigate this one. I guess if they have like Abrupt Decay, I could still do it somehow. Chalice on 0. Is it time? All right, so I can cast Oko, Crypt them, recast Crypt, and then cast Chalice on 0. Or I could cast the Plague Engineer. Maybe I can do both. So I'm going to name Goblin for this. Then I'm going to cast Lotus Petal out of my bin. And then green, blue, other shit. Oko. Make a food. And Chalice on 0. All right, there it is. They would have to natural tendrils me. Okay, or have Abrupt Decay. That also works. All right, so they drew Abrupt Decay, the one card I didn't know about. So there's a chance here that we lose. All right, I'm going to bomb them in response, and so are we dead here? Probably. It's whether they can get Hellbent or not. They can Thoughtseize themselves, but this double Infernal Tutor might be tough to get through. Like, if they drew Lotus Petal or LED, they could Infernal Tutor for positive mana. All right, nope. They couldn't navigate it. They drew their best card and it wasn't good enough. All right, sweet. So we put up a tasty little 4-1 with Uro-za. This deck felt really good. I like having blue cards and lots of payoffs compared to the non-blue Stompy decks. Like Emery does a really good Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm impression, Baleful Strix, cantrips. Really good stuff there. Uro, also cantrips. So they managed to fill this Chalice of the Void deck with cantrips, and I'm really into that. So I like this deck. I'll be messing around with it moving forward. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for sticking out to the end. If you want to hear me talk about Legacy some more, be sure to listen to the Eternal Glory podcast, co-hosted by me, and talk to me on Twitter at Bosch and Roll. See you next time.